Christians are one of the most persecuted groups in the world today, with millions of believers facing discrimination, violence, and marginalization in various forms. This phenomenon is not limited to any particular region or country, but is a global issue that affects Christians from diverse backgrounds and cultures. In many societies, Christians are targeted because of their faith, with some facing extreme forms of persecution, including imprisonment, torture, and even death. One of the primary reasons for Christian persecution is the growing intolerance and hostility towards Christianity in many parts of the world. In some countries, Christianity is seen as a threat to traditional values and cultural norms, and Christians are viewed as outsiders or infidels. This perception is often fueled by misinformation, stereotypes, and prejudices, which can lead to violence and discrimination against Christians. For example, in some Muslim-majority countries, Christians are seen as inferior or unclean, and are subjected to various forms of persecution, including forced conversion, imprisonment, and execution. Another reason for Christian persecution is the rise of secularism and atheism in many Western societies. In these countries, Christianity is often viewed as outdated, irrelevant, or even oppressive, and Christians are seen as being out of touch with modern values and lifestyles. This has led to a growing climate of intolerance and hostility towards Christians, with many facing discrimination and marginalization in the workplace, education, and media. For instance, Christians who hold traditional views on issues such as marriage, family, and sexuality are often ridiculed, ostracized, or even penalized for their beliefs, while those who promote secular or atheist ideologies are often celebrated and rewarded. In addition, the increasing globalization and interconnectedness of the world have also contributed to the persecution of Christians. With the advent of social media and other digital technologies, hate speech, propaganda, and misinformation can spread rapidly and reach a wide audience, fueling anti-Christian sentiment and persecution. Furthermore, the ease of travel and migration has also facilitated the spread of extremist ideologies and terrorist movements, which often target Christians and other minority groups. For example, the Islamic State ISIS and other extremist groups have explicitly targeted Christians and other minorities in their campaigns of terror and violence, seeking to eradicate them from the face of the earth. Moreover, the silence and complicity of many governments and institutions have also contributed to the persecution of Christians. In some cases, governments and authorities have failed to protect Christians from persecution, or have even actively participated in their marginalization and oppression. For instance, in some countries, Christians are denied basic rights and freedoms, such as the right to worship, education, and employment, while in other cases, governments have turned a blind eye to violence and persecution against Christians. The lack of accountability and the failure to prosecute perpetrators of anti-Christian violence have also emboldened extremist groups and individuals to continue their campaigns of hate and terror. The persecution of Christians also has significant implications for the global community, as it undermines the principles of equality, justice, and human dignity. The suppression of Christian minorities can have a ripple effect, leading to the erosion of human rights and freedoms for all people, regardless of their faith or background. Furthermore, the persecution of Christians can also have economic, social, and cultural consequences, as it can lead to the displacement of communities, the destruction of cultural heritage, and the loss of human capital. In conclusion, the persecution of Christians is a complex and multifaceted issue that requires a comprehensive and nuanced approach to address. It is rooted in a combination of factors, including intolerance, secularism, globalization, and government complicity, which have created a toxic environment that threatens the lives, livelihoods, and dignity of millions of Christians around the world. To combat this phenomenon, it is essential to promote greater understanding, tolerance, and respect for Christian minorities, as well as to hold governments and institutions accountable for their role in protecting or persecuting Christians. Ultimately, the fight against Christian persecution requires a collective effort from people of all faiths and backgrounds, who must come together to promote the values of equality, justice, and human dignity that are essential for a peaceful and harmonious world.